Welcome back, everybody. Halloween, of course, is spooky, but there are readers who enjoy a good horror novel all year round. And if horror is your thing, an author from Des Moines says just what you want. Please welcome horror writer Crystal Connor. How are you? I love your skeleton tiara. That is the best thing ever.
So much. When I found out I was gonna have to dress up, I was like super nervous because I usually don't. I write horror and science fiction, but I don't like the gore of horror. I like more like the beauty of the macabre. And so I was like super like looking, I'm like, what am I gonna wear? And so I found a woman who makes these on Etsy, and I bought the last one.
That is great. And it's the Day of the Dead too, so this is a perfect kind of thing. Okay, how did you get started writing in the horror genre?
I've always liked things that were like kind of dark around the edges. I've always been intrigued by that type of entertainment, so it just was a natural thing to do. I was always told really spooky stories. I was the one that got invited to the slumber parties because I told the most scary stories, and everyone would be like sleep. I would be asleep, and everyone would be like covered up with their flashlights on as the branch like
because you'd scared them
across the window, and I'd just be like,
fun. Yeah. You like things with monsters in them, right?
Monsters are my favorite.
I don't think anybody's ever said that sentence to me before. I love it. So between like in the horror genre, we'll have like maybe psychological thriller over here, all the way over to the super gory stuff. Where does your writing fit in?
I'm not really that much of a gore hound. It's more like psychological, and I do just enough so that your imagination can take off. I think that makes it more scarier than it actually is.
Why do you think we like to be scared?
Because it's fun, right? Like when you go to like a haunted house, you know that at the end of the day, you're going to be safe. Like I don't think anyone would want to really live in real life through a horror movie, like some of these haunted houses where you have to sign a waiver to have the submerged experience. I don't think that's not fun because you don't have any control over it. But like when you lose yourself in a book, or if you're on a roller coaster, or if you're going through a haunted house, it's fun. It's like,
that's a great explanation.
It's safer than like maybe base jumping or bungee jumping, you know.
So you get the thrill, but you also have the containment of this is safe or it's fiction, and I'm just reading it. So you also kind of get together with people who are involved in STEM education or interested in that sort of thing. You've been part of a documentary that I found really interesting. Tell us about that.
So I also run a company called CrystalCon, and basically it's a symposium of science fiction writers and scientists in real life where we can get together and kind of like be fans of each other, because people who write science fiction, we're fans of science. Yeah. And scientists in real life are fans of science fiction, but there's not really a place where we can get together and just kind of like be ourselves and be all geeky about it. And like normally when you go to a convention that are scientists, they're talking to their colleagues. So sometimes science fiction writers don't understand what's going on because we might not have that education level. But like at a convention like CrystalCon, we have science fiction writers and scientists in real life who will discuss issues, the same issues, but from our own perspective, like how if we create an artificial intelligence, is that person now its own entity, or does it belong to the company that creates it? So
in their discussions of what's real or what they imagine will be real through science, you can get ideas to make what you're doing even more grounded in the principles of science.
It turns into like a spirited debate, like the movie AI, where the little boy is at the bottom of the water. Like once you create something that is thinking, the thing about intelligence, whether it's God-given or artificial, it's still intelligent. So once something starts thinking, it becomes its own being. So then now what happens is have rights. Do we have more obligations to this thing that we've created? Like I think science fiction is a tale of parables. Like we're like, do you really want to go down this road? Like the team that created the artificial intelligence, who created its own language, and because they couldn't understand what it said, they shut it down. So basically they killed this thing. And so like, is that really the right thing to do? They shouldn't have created it in the first place, right? But then you killed it. So
Wow, I didn't know we were going here.
I'm sorry. What you were talking about, the science part of how I write.
No, I can see why that's really, really interesting, and I love seeing a woman doing this too, because we need all the voices in these different areas. Thank you for coming, and you'll love her books, and we'll put a link on our website where you can buy these and read more about Crystal. Still ahead, Spooktacular cocktails to chill your Halloween party guests to the bone. Not the kids. We're back after this.